There are some 400 paintings and prints here in the house at the moment, including another 40 boxes that were full of books, full of collectible items, manuscripts, prints, etc. So we're talking about an enormous collection, by any standards, I think. I mean, it would fill up a museum on its own.
And the process by which the liquidators have come to possess this property?
Yes. Right. The items have been under our control for quite a number of years, since the firm went under back in 2010. We have been holding them in safekeeping until we were able to go to court and get an order over the items. There were a number of competing claims over these items and over the artwork, so we had to wait till we were able to obtain an order, and last October the court decided that these items belong to us as liquidators.
Talk us through some of the more notable items within the collection, a very substantial amount of prints relating to Gibraltar.
Yes, the number of prints is absolutely amazing. Some of them date back to the 1800s, a very interesting collection. As you've seen, there's a whole room full of Gibraltar prints. We then have a second room which is just full of paintings by Gibraltar artists. So they include the Assiguri paintings by Mania, other local well-known artists, as well as by English artists who painted scenes of Gibraltar. So we have quite a wide collection, really.
So the Marraches were relatively prolific collectors of art, weren't they?
Yes, I think that it was probably their hobby to collect this art. We've seen receipts from a number of auction houses. So obviously they used to frequent these auction houses and collect a lot of the art, a lot of the manuscripts as well. A lot of the books came from UK auction houses, and then they brought them all over to Gibraltar.
Do you think that the collection that is currently here is the totality of what the Marrache brothers collected?
Right. We believe that there may be some other paintings which haven't come into our possession. There may be in other properties that were not under our control, and therefore we've not been able to acquire them or get hold of them. But the paintings that we have here number close to 400, so that nevertheless is quite a vast collection. Our principal aim is, once it's been proven that they are guilty, is to try and recover as many assets as we can. So we owe a duty to the creditors to try and sell these paintings and this collection for as much money as we can, so that we can try and return as much as possible to the creditors. Altogether, we're talking about a theft of £27 million, so there's a lot of money to recover. This collection is not going to go anywhere close to that figure, but nevertheless it may be able to help a little bit. We've got a number of other claims, a number of other assets that we're following up, a number of other leads, and we hope that we will be able to return some money to the creditors.
And could it, as a collection, be worth more than the sum of its parts?
I think so. I mean, you've seen the collection, it really is very impressive. It's most impressive because of its size. Those Gibraltar prints, obviously it'd be lovely to have one print, but when you've got 100 or 150 prints all next to each other, it really is quite an amazing collection.
You've said yourself that it's unlikely that this collection will get close to use your words,
Yes.
the £27 million that were owed to creditors. How much of that money is likely to get recovered, do you think?
Right. We have a number of cases pending, and there are some assets that we're still following up. We hope to return some money to creditors. At the moment it's difficult for us to put a figure on it, because a lot of it depends on litigation, a lot of it depends on recovering assets which are not in Gibraltar, which are overseas. So we're pursuing these, but we would hope that we'd be able to recover a substantial amount. We're not looking at anywhere close to the full amount, but at least that there will be some recovery for the creditors.
And so the total process has not yet finished. Have you got any idea as to when it might be?
Right. I mean, it's been 5 years now. It's been a long process. I think we are starting to reach the end of that process. These things always do take a long time, and a liquidation of this size, where so much money has been lost, will take a number of years. So 5 years is not long, but I would have thought that perhaps we're talking about another 18 months, 2 years.